Morning, good afternoon, and evening, everyone. So I got three trade ideas for today: pocket left short, light short, and a UXY long. That's the only three ideas I got. And now the Qs, I think most of the indices are bouncing into the hourly 9 EMA. Given yesterday's momentum to the downside and the weak close, I would like to increase the exposure on the short side. And the FX is still under 30. Now I believe we'll have a push to maybe at least 40 or even 50 level, hopefully, to really reset the market and maybe found a base, form a low in a medium term. Because we're still in the kind of in the range since the November last year. But now SPY and IWM are starting to roll over and they're under the EMAs. Let's see whether if the indices like IWM can bounce to the 21 EMA on the hourly chart 250 level. It is also another good level to focus on. And UVXY is pulling back into the anchor VWAP from the Monday high. And light, my focus will be on the anchor VWAP from the swing low, as well as the 9 or the 21 EMA on the hourly chart. And actually, yesterday, light gives a really good entry on the bounce into the all-time high EMA anchor VWAP and the declining 9 EMA. Yesterday's is actually the entry is really good. Crypto is bouncing is like breaking out from this small flag, the double inside day. Now it's at the 50 EMA. Potentially we'll find some resistance here, but let's see. Maybe it is going to take off from here. Something like May last year. Oh, ASTS is bouncing. It's up 5%. Looks like a strong bounce. We're bouncing into the anchor from the swing high. And I'm probably not going to take the rocket lab at the moment. I ran out of buying power, then I couldn't short light. I think I can only build a 10% position on lights, but then never mind. If I got stopped out from the UXY, I will look for the re-entry. Oh, the Nifty 50 is this a Nifty 50? Nifty index is this the Nifty 50? I think the Indian's market index. So the Indian market is getting down 11% from the past 2 weeks. I really want the US market to do something similar. Like really it will get a flush around 10%. That would be really nice. If we got more than 10% correction, that would be even better. We're not getting a really deep correction since the April last year. And actually last year's April is only 25% from the highs. Yep, this is breaking out from the inside day yesterday. So maybe I'm wrong for selling this into strength. But the trace is already taken, so no point to look back on it. But we'll evaluate the sell maybe next a weeks later. So the first 15 minutes is pretty strong. The market is finding support at the 9 EMA on the 1 minute chart. And IWM is weaker than the Qs and the SPYs. The next one will be 21 EMA on the hourly chart. So one thing that's pretty bullish is Nvidia is holding the anchor VWAP from the earnings day, the huge red candle. And SNTK is looking like it's building a bull flag or a small flag after the second low. Touching the 50 EMA, the double bottom maybe. AOI is at the end of VWAP from the earnings day, from the EP day. That is really interesting. So if the market continues being strong, I think AOI could be a play. And this will be an undercut of the 9 EMA if it bounce back from the anchor VWAP. And it will looks pretty good actually. And IWM still cannot get above the 250 level. A lot of the mega cap names are bouncing into the declining EMAs. That's why I'm a little bit short biased on the bounce. The second attempt on UXY, we'll see. So if this second try doesn't work, then I think I think that's I'm not going to try the third time for UXY because UXY is actually difficult to trade compared to if you're trading maybe a SQQQ or the inverse ETF of the indices. But the potential gain of UXY will be higher than the inverse ETFs. RGTI is actually bouncing pretty hard, bouncing pretty strong. We'll see are there any rejection at the 9 EMA. I mean, AOI looks like it cannot find the support on the anchor VWAP from the EP. Let's see whether we can get a reclaim or at this 1 hour candle, because it has found support 3 times. So actually it respects this anchor VWAP pretty well. The memory names is very strong today. It's actually breaking out from the and making a higher low after the 50-day pullback. Collab is, to me, is a short. I'm not trusting the breakouts on the space names or the drones names. At least for Rocket Lab, I think it's not. At least for now, it's under the EMAs. I will be looking for the short side. Even though the memory names are looking strong now, I'm feeling a little bit skeptical on the breakouts. General market is weak, and the semi ETF is bouncing back into the 9 EMA, 50 EMA on the hourly chart. I don't know, like anything can happen in this polarized market. And NetBS is showing really huge relative strength today. And USAR is actually looking very nice for now. AOI looks like it's holding up, but it's unable to get a quick bounce above the 9 EMA. I think a strong reaction, something like when you really pull back into the support level, the strong reaction will be a quick bounce, like a V-shaped recovery, a huge green candle, and you'll be reclaiming the 9 EMA pretty fast. But AOI is not having that actions compared to previous pullback into this anchor VWAP. So I think it's also the reason why that I bought the Dell on Tuesday, because it's a really strong actions after the dip. Really, it is actually a really nasty shakeouts on the 9 EMA. There are a lot of people putting the stops at the private low, the bar low of the on Monday, or this candle here. We will get shaken out. Mean reversion, I think the only mean reversion that I trade will be the parabolics. If it's simply like doing some range bounds or like a channel, like a buy the dips and sell into the highs within a range or a channel, I don't study them. I haven't studied them. I think the mean reversions trades that you are referring to is something like when you buy something in the dip and then sell something into the highs. And when it pulls back again and you bought in the dip and then sell into the highs and buy in the dip and sell into the highs. But I have very little knowledge on those trading style. The intro song is called Magic Lamp by Moonboy. I'm going to send the links out in a second. So the indices are pulling back after the first 15 minutes, the first 15 minutes strength, and now it's rolling over at the 21 EMA. But still, I don't see a lot of panic in the market. Just I really want to see a huge flush, a huge down day for for a huge amount of stocks, including the leaders. Because now there's still a lot of money flowing into the leaders, the strongest names, and some of them are actually the small caps and the micro caps. And that just kind of telling me the sentiment is not that bearish enough. And I'm really curious to see where the oil could possibly go. Iran says um the oil can go to $200. $200 would be something like here. I think 99% of the time it's not going to happen. I think a retest of the previous high is possible. I think it's one of the scenario that could possibly happen. So I think we'll watch for the reversal on the oil. It also help to use this to determine whether the market could possibly find a low. And apart from the previous high 120 at 105 will be another level that I'm also watching. I want to see find are there any hints or the correlation between the XLE and the oil, like whether the XLE will top first or the oil will top first. I don't see much hints on them. AAY is actually bouncing from the anchor VWAP, and this 1 hourly candle looks very nice. If the market is a little bit stronger, then I'll be really interested in buying this AOI on this pullback. No, I haven't been in such a choppy market. I started trading in late 2020, somewhere here, I think. I forget how I really trade in 2022. I'm up single digit, I think, in 2022, but I didn't feel I don't think I'm feeling that much of frustration or like the lack of follow through in the trades. Probably we're still getting pretty good follow through, even though you are like only playing the bounce or playing the downside. So you still get a multi-day moves on both sides, and definitely there are some like choppy periods, such as February or January. December in 2024 and January in 2025. They're in the much shorter period, and I think still they're easier to trade compared to the markets now. Because this type of a market is the best place for you to really hone your trading skills. Especially sometimes you need to stop looking for the breakouts, stop looking for the longs. When the breath is low, when the leaders are shrinking, this type of a market will punish the traders that is chasing every breakouts. I think a lot of like ONDS, if you're buying every breakout on since February, since March, then you will be really hard. You're getting stopped out multiple times. Even you're trying to play the short side, you're probably still getting. And I'm looking forward to to see the semi ETF to roll over. Maybe next week, if we cannot get the reversal today. No, I haven't traded AOI. Wednesday is not a good. I don't think it's a good spot to take a to take a longs. Although it's pulled back into the previous highs, 21 EMA on the hourly chart, but the daily chart is so extended. It's 50% above the 50 EMA. It's not even close to the 9 EMA on the daily chart. I'm not seeing much for today, and I think that's it for today. It's not going to take any more trades, and either the market proves itself to, but I think it's really hard. It's still far from the 9 EMA on the daily chart, or it has a really quick, really strong flush to the downside. I really don't want another chop around the 150 EMA. That would be the worst possible scenario. And also for oil, I think the commodities that is getting the most attention currently. And I believe the market will find a bottom, at least a short-term bottom when the oil found. So we'll see. And I think sometimes you don't need to trade every day. Maybe I'm definitely a chronic overtrader. I took so many trades. I really wanted to do something, to have to make some trades, to have some exposures in the market. But I mean, you don't need to trade like me. I think this is a market that you can just observe and trying to stay in the sidelines and watch for the price actions for the strong stocks, like how the leaders build the relative strengths and how the laggards are going to crack, or where can I find the best entry for the shorts, or where can I have find the best timing to buy the new leaders when the market's starting to find a low and try and set up another uptrend. And I truly believe there must be an easy money market in the future. It will definitely come. And if you are losing your mental and the financial capital before it comes, then that'll be the most unfortunate things to hear. And the market is going to tell you, really, it will notify you when it starts to turn up and become easier to trade. And I'll be interested to reshort the memory names if it failed to break out from the private swing high, or even rolling over below the EMAs for the next week. See how they close today. I think that's it for today. You don't need to trade. Like you don't you if you don't like shorting, you can just avoid the shorts. You don't need to master every setups, every style of trading, every market conditions, and you can still make a really good return. So thank you guys for coming, and see you in the next one.